dorime, interrimo ad appare dorime, ameno, ameno, lanciremo, dorime, ameno, comandare il terravi, ameno, dimele, mantiremo, ameno, ameno,
Thanks for joining this episode. It's always a good day to have the opportunity to go over a new model review, or I should say, it's another fantastic day to make a new video, and it's wonderful to spend it with my lovely subscribers. So let's take a look at this stunning aircraft today. Today we have for review the Sukhoi or the Su-30 MK Flanker C. This particular Su-30 in the colors of the Russian Air Force with the board number White 502 as it's showing here on the side of the fuselage, and this was in circa 2011. Um, for those who are curious about the meaning of these serial numbers of the Russian Air Force category, to give you some background on it. So the red or white and other colors like blue and yellow numbers on the Russian Air Force aircraft are board numbers used for tactical identification at the unit or base level, basically helping to distinguish aircraft from different regiments, especially when multiple units operate from the same location or at the same base, I should say. Um, Also, this particular aircraft was showcased at the Paris Air Show back in 2001. First, let's look at the aircraft's history, and then we'll dive into the model discussion. Uh, with that out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? So, since the late 1980s, the Flanker stood as one of the most reliable role fighter platforms in the Russia and across many Eastern, much like the mighty um, F-15 Eagle, which has become the symbolized Western air superiority. The flanker has emerged as a defining icon of Eastern aerial power from the introduction of the original through the Su-27 in the early 1980s, has continually evolved the design to fill a wide range of roles today. Dozens of flankers variants exist, including the air superiority version, the Su-35, also China's J-15 and the J-16 electronic warfare aircraft capable. Also the Su-33 and also the Su-34 fighter bomber. Many of these aircraft themselves further refined into subvariants with their roots tracing back the Soviet air concepts. Um, uh, Following Russia's recovery from the financial turmoil of the 1990s, one particular derivative began to raise above the rest in prominence. The two-seater Su-30, originally conceived in the Soviet at the 1980s as a two-seater variant of the Su-27. It emerged in 1996 as a multi-role fighter that would go into the defined modern Russian air power. So it might not boast the flashy presentation of specialty designs like the Su-34 bomber or the super maneuverable Su-35, which has become perhaps Russia's most trusted and versatile fighter, as highest demand export fighter is uniquely produced by both Russia and leading aircraft manufacturers like the Kanopo and Irkut. Understanding the strategic importance of Kremlin places on the platform, continuously upgraded to meet modern demands. The Su-30 remains in active development with the latest SM2 Flanker H variant entering serial delivery from 2022 onward and continuing through 2024. So in this video, we explore the Su-30's origins, its many derivatives, and why it stands as one of the most capable multi-role fighter in the Eastern Arsenal. The Su-30, designed by Flanker C by the NATO, is the most widely used fighter in the Flanker family today. This fighter, with characteristics of flights in many weather conditions, um, this aircraft basically can operate in any type of austere conditions. The variant of the Su-27UB and was put into operation in the year 1996. The versions of the Su-30MK and the Su-30MKI were the most commercially successful versions of the Flanker C. The Su-30 was also responsible for introducing the use of data link in the Russian aircraft. All Su-30s are made in the Kanopo factory except the Sukhoi 30 MK and the Sukhoi 30 MKI, which is Flanker H, that are fabricated by the Irkut factory. That is also considered the most advanced of the Sukhoi fighter factories. Su-30 also was first aircraft, as I've mentioned, to use the data link system. Despite the original Su-27 has a good range, it was not a fighter air defense in terms of, in terms of being for a, Soviet Air Defense Force requirements. So the interceptor, the Su-27UB, was selected to be used as a demonstrator for a basically new technologies, and the success of this demonstrator has ensured the development of the new version of the flanker Su-27 PU, which was later renamed the Su-30. The Sukhoi proposed a variant of the export fighter Su-30 MK. The letters MK means I believe it's, according to the research, modernizer or Vanny Komerchesky, basically for modernized marketing. Um, the company first showed the Su-30 MK in the air show in Paris, basically in 1993. The Su-30 was initially developed as a further modification to the existing Su-27 flanker series, but ended as its own all-new mark. The aircraft encompasses a multi-mission design frame based on the Su-27, though incorporated a second crewman seated in tandem, improved a data linking, and increased operational endurance. Production of this series model began in 1992 and is ongoing as of was written in 2017. Some 540 have been produced to date, with operators beyond Russia, the other countries using it, including Algeria, Angola, China, Belarus, India, Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Uganda, Venezuela, and also Vietnam, making this combat platform an important product in the Sukhoi fighter lineup. Um, the Su-27 family of large fighters makes up the backbone of the Russian Air Force and Navy aviation fleets. It has proving itself to be a highly versatile, high performance combat platform that has wowed generations of onlookers at the air shows and proving uh, popular with former Soviet states and allies worldwide. Developments like the Su-30 and the Su-34 and the Su-35 only serve to keep the line strong and the product a viable instruments over the modern battlefield. From development beginning in 1986, the first flight and the prototype form based on the two seats Su-27 PU interceptor was recorded on December 31st, 1989. However, it was not until 1996 that the product was formally introduced into service. For 1991 saw the formal end of the Soviet Empire of the Cold War, which was basically from 1947, and its dissolution in 1991. And anyways, at its core, the Su-30 represents a powerful evolution of the original Su-27 flanker. It improves on its original operational range and carries with it a refined air-to-air and air-to-surface all-weather attack qualities. In this way, the same platform can be used to undertake both airspace denial and ground strikes missions as needed. as it has a broadened support for various munitions types, and its onboard systems can support both air and ground attacks. The general form and function of the Su-27 are retained, but the mission sets of the Su-30 is expanded considerably. This aircraft is powered by two Saturn AL-31F turbofan engines. Sits within the lower body of the aircraft. These are fed through the side-mounted intakes and exhausted at the rear as normal. Additionally, the engines offers a reheat capabilities, or better known the afterburners, which allows the for short bursts of power and therefore short burst of speed. This aircraft is also capable of reaching speeds of Mach 2. Outer range on eternal fuel of this aircraft can uh, retain about 1,800 plus miles. According to research, its service ceiling is 56,000 feet, and the rate climb is 56,800 feet per minute. Because of its internal refueling probe, the aircraft can expand its patrol range slash mission endurance window up to 10 hours. Certain hard points under the aircraft are also plumbed for jettisonable fuel tanks, and the second crew member also elevates crew fatigues on a longer sorties. With all this, the Su-30 compares favorably to the old Boeing F-15 Strike Eagle itself. Based on an air superiority original design. Su-30 began as a modernized Su-30, the Su-27UB, and 5 squadrons were set up under a Russian Air Defense Forces branch. The export form became the Su-30K, which ended up in India. Su-30 Ki became a proposed Su-30 upgraded to existing Russian Air Force Su-27UB and original Su-30 fighters, as well as the export-minded Su-30KS. The upgraded program and the similarly minded Su-30KN project fell to naught. The Su-30KM is another export model, this time fielding Indian avionics. The Su-30 MKI introduced thrust vectoring engine nozzles and forward canards for much improved maneuverability, and internationally originated avionics sets. This product was jointly undertaken by Sukhoi and also a company called the Hindustan, basically of India. The Su-30 MKA followed a customer on Algeria, but with the French and Russian avionics, the Su-30 MKM is based in the Su-30 MKI and modified to suit Malaysian requirements. Su-30 SM was based on the Su-30 MKI model and produced for Russian by Irkut as an advanced Su-30 with modernized equipment. The Su-30 SME designator is based to market the Su-30 SM abroad. And also the Su-30 I think it's called there's a lot of variants, folks. I'm trying to remember here. The Su-30 MKK, which I think it's better known, the Flanker G, was also sold to China, as was the modernized form sometime later as the Su-30 Mk2. Indonesia and Uganda also took delivery of the type. The Su-30 Mk2V was in Su Mk2 variant, um, slightly revised for sale to Vietnam. The Su-30 Mkv was an export version of the Su-30 Mk2, and that was sold to Venezuela. The Su-30 Mk2 forms the basis of the Su-30 M2, and these have been taken into inventory by the Russian Air Force. Uh, since introduction into Russian service, the Su-30 has been deployed over Syria and its ongoing civil war. The Sirius remains high on the list for several potential operators, though it has fallen to Western competition in some circles. The Su-30 model uh, serves both the Russian Air Force and the Naval Service. It is based on the Su-30 MKI and the Su-30 MKM variants. Basically, first flight was recorded on September 21st in 2012, and service introduction arrived on January 12th in 2018. These are also powered by the AL31, the FP turbofan engines, and with better layout, with a highly agile airframe offering a precise level of maneuverability in the air combat that is basically the Su-34 lacks. At the same time, the presence of the second crew member enhances its ability to manage complex strike missions, an advantage over the single seat fighter like the Su-27SM or the Su-35, where pilot workload can become a limiting factor. This dual role versatility helps to explain why countries like Russia and China and the United States um, continue to invest in the multi-role platforms with the two-seater variants. These are aircrafts can deliver basically precision guided munitions while retaining robust air-to-air capabilities. Unlike older strike platforms such as the F-111s or the Su-34, basically those aircraft were less capable in the air combat. Pardon me, folks. I had to take a little swig here. Anyways, so two-seat fighters provided both offensive flexibility and the situational awareness needed to survive in the contested airspace. Let's talk some of the technical specifications of the Su-30 and how it stands up against other platforms. Well, the Su-30 stands up well against other modern multi-role and dedicated fighter platforms. The following fighters focus on the Su-30 MKI, though most airframe-related performance stats are broadly consist across the Su-30 variants. This aircraft can excuse me, folks. This aircraft can reach up to Mach 2 even at the high altitudes, but at the lower altitudes, it can maintain up to Mach 1. Uh, though not quite as fast, some flankers, or for example, other fighters like the F-15E Strike Eagle, uh, whereas the aircraft is more sufficient for high altitudes and for longer mission duration. This aircraft also can sustain the 9G maneuvers, which at this point we can characterize this aircraft as a F-15 or the F-16. Um, Su-30 maximum external capacity is around 18,000 pounds, although this can vary depending on the mission configuration, also depending on the weapon system integrated. And one of the most Su-30 significant advantages in its standoff air-to-air capabilities. So during the war in Ukraine, Su-30 SM and the Su-35 fighters have dominated aerial combat, um, and that was largely due to their superior missiles range. Although the since the Ukrainian has a robust SAM sites, prevent Russia from completely dominating the airspace. Um, Ukrainian and Russian pilots' accounts confirm that the newer flankers variants are able to launch missiles from extended range, often without crossing the boundaries, which that might which basically that might puts the pilots in jeopardy. Arguably, the Su-30 likely holds the top spot within the Russia's arsenal, offering unmatched capabilities such as the advanced sensors, etc. But meanwhile, China appears to be pushing ahead in terms of internal avionics and network capabilities, particularly with their J15D and the J16 platforms. Looking ahead, China's own flanker evolution, such as the speculated the J11D, may soon reveal Russia's newest Su-30 variants, assuming development continues. The two-seat J16, which already fielded by the capable multi-role flanker, which basically it is equipped with the ASA radar and long-range PL-15 missiles. Arguably, it matches the Su-30 um, SM-2. The Su-30, especially in its latest form, Su-30 SM-2 Flanker H is likely Russia's most versatile combat aircraft delivered to naval units from 2022 onward and continuing production to 2024 and beyond. The SM-2 has been combat tested, upgraded for multi-role flexibility, and deployed across multiple theaters for now. Excuse me. Um, this fighter remains, I think, it remains unmatched within Eastern military aviation circles. As of now, this aircraft acts as a multi-role fighter. It's designed for a variety of missions, including air superiority, also ground attack and long-range interdiction. The MK designation indicates a basically multi-role capability, and the aircraft is equipped to handle diverse combat scenarios, both day and night, and in various weather conditions. Now, with all that in mind, let's pivot and talk about something better, which is the model itself, right? Um, so, to begin with, of course, this model is from Hobbymaster and 1/72nd scale. Under model number is HA 9551. First thing I would say, folks, this model is absolutely beautiful. Those Sukhois from Hobbymaster, to me, they're just the work of art. Starting with the paint scheme is on point. I think it captured the essence of the actual aircraft, while having a few Su-30s in my collection. The reason I opted for this one because the paint scheme sets it apart from the other flankers. As you might expect, it's a big model, so having a quite few numbers the size of this model, you're definitely going to need a lot of space. Um, I mean, I do have about 6 or 7 flankers in my collection, but here's the catch. You know, like um, you have to have unlimited space to display them all, right? It is enjoyable hobby, folks, but unfortunately, the space is the perennial problem for the collectors, and I think that's the case for most of us out there. For me, with nearly 400 plus models in my collection, well, space is becoming a real challenge for me. The other problem is I do have other collectible priorities. I do collect guns. I have beautiful guns. I have watches, mainly for aviation sector. But anyways, I digress. But hoping that I can just continue collecting as much as I could. So coming back to the model subject at hand, in terms of weaponry loadout, this model comes with a pretty decent armament. It comes with the 10 missiles in total. I think there are 8 missiles, air to air, and 2 air to ground bombs. All these missiles are really nicely detailed, and of course, you can display the weapons with or without. So far, no fitment concerns were experienced with this particular model. Speaking about the definitions of the markings insignia, all the markings are beautifully detailed, well executed, such as the Russian big red star, the serial number 502, the Sukhoi logo, very crisp and clear. The cockpit details are very nicely done. I try to capture every single detail on the intro montage, hoping I'm doing a good job on that regards. But anyways, so overall, the exterior looks accurate. The panel lines, the shape proportions, and overall the representation of the aircraft, the model captured the look of the Sukhoi, or Su-30, I should say. Um, Also, the model includes a pilot figure, which you can choose to have it visible in the cockpit or externally. There are 2 pilot figures. They came in the blue flight suit configuration. I think they're okay, very nicely detailed. Um, Also, the 2 canopy options are provided, open and closed. Both are removable, and the model is equipped with functional speed brake that can be showing open or closed as necessary. And this model includes a set of landing gear with the other accessories like the door panels, allowing you to display this model either in the ground configuration, as you guys can see here in this shot, or in the flight configuration. As you can imagine, Hobby Master gives you a lot of options to meet diverse needs for showcasing the model. So to be transparent with my subscribers, one thing I would like to point out here, I know probably many of you seen these accessories on my previous videos. I think I've mentioned this before, but just for reference, the airfield accessories displayed in this shot are not part of the model kit, such as the crew ladders, the tow bar, the wheel chocks, etc. Uh, these are not included in the purchase, folks. These accessories are separate purchases, and they are not cheap by any stretch of imagination. And also very hard to find, very rare. The other practical fact is that I display those accessories with the model just to enhance the presentation. That's all there is to it. So just to conclude the last remarks, I'm glad that I have this particular release in my collection. I think it's a superb and worthwhile rendition. Um, Currently, this model is still available. If you like it, I would say you should get it as soon as possible, because I've just noticed that the prices are going up rapidly. And that's the long and short of it. Time to wrap it up. To see more content like this, subscribe if you could. That would help me a ton. If you guys have any observation to improve something, hit me on a comment section below. Um, this channel might not be everyone's cup of tea, but the best effort has been made. Until next time, thanks for watching, everyone.